Hello, hello. Welcome in. And I wanted to we have a few new subscribers. Thank you very much. You're joining a wonderful circle of people. And we're all sort of, our situations are different, the timelines are different. You may be cross-watching for somebody, so it may seem like when I say you, it's actually them. There's a lot for you to sort out on your end, to see what resonates, to see if the reading even resonates. If it does, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. That helps. The more of us are in this collective, it seems like the flow gets stronger and stronger. I was going to look today at the idea of projection, how we can bring to new situations, of course, past, especially the troubling ones, Our brains default often to the troubled places. Our brains were designed with a big impulse to protect us. That kind of primitive brain response, fight or flight. There's trouble here, and so we get triggered by things. And likewise, it's, there's an impulse sometimes we recognize other people's triggered stuff, created by trauma, perhaps, in their childhood or in some kind of past life trauma, if you believe in that. And we try to love them out of their trauma. They have to love themselves. I think I hit the mic again. We can love them during this process, but it's sort of from afar. At least in the sense that it's not our job, that they have to do that work. They have to want to do the work. They have to want to recognize the trauma. If you don't recognize what it is that's causing you to create these patterns again and again, what chance do you have of getting out of it? Have to do the shadow work. Have to look it in the eye. Have to be ready to do that. And people, when they're not ready to look at it, no one should push them into it. That just creates resistance. That's the truth. There was a character I think it was on Laugh-In. I'm showing my age. But she used to say, it was Edith Ann, and she used to go into these explanations, and she'd say, and that's the truth. And that's the truth. Let's look for the truth. Projections. And love is the way. But self-love, if you don't have it for yourself, how can you receive it from the outside? You won't feel worthy. Perhaps they don't feel worthy. So let's see. I haven't used this deck in a long time. I love it. When I get into it, I tend to use it again and again. It's a pretty abstract deck. Doesn't have the Rider-Waite images. And sometimes that's okay, just to be having to see it through a new lens, maybe? Yeah. We have Page of Wands. That's the new path, the new lens. The new thing lighting the way. And it's optimistic energy. It's like, I'm ready to go. In Wands energy, I know where to go. At least I'm curious about where to go. Eight of Pentacles, and willing to do the work. I think the work that somebody has done to date has allowed them to begin to see the way forward. Intuitively, Wands energy. Because they've done the work. And see, even the Pentacles card, the card of daily life, has that sun image as well. A willingness to work on our own enlightenment, our own intuition. Like you can't do the work for them. You can't love them out of trauma. They have to first love themselves and accept love into their lives because they feel worthy. King of Pentacles. They've worked on their own stability, their own authenticity. They've come into themselves. And the reason I tend to inflect, I've noticed, upwards, like everything's a question, because everything sort of is a question. It's up in the air. It's unfolding. And part of the question is, for you guys, how do I fit into this? Is this my story? I suspect it is, because you're here. You've got somebody who's grounded, who's ready to show up because they've done the work, both in Pentacles energy, in their daily lives, not just in the spirit realm. Although the new path may have a lot to do with your intuition about the spirit realm. Remember I said maybe they don't feel worthy? 5 of Pentacles. I don't have enough. Hang on. Oh, it's 3. Oof, ouch. My back is like right on the edge of going out. Okay. Perhaps a new path away from this unworthiness. And again, there's that sun image. And 4 of Cups underneath that. A card of perhaps depression. There's something about, though, the Cups energy, the feel, what I feel is coming into alignment somehow. This person looks like they're in a spotlight, sort of. Something's aligning. And 5 of Pentacles, even though it can be a card of deprivation or feeling out in the cold, feeling you don't have enough, there is a doorway here. They're walking right by it. But are they? There's the doorway again. And they're showing up. I think now they're curious. Maybe willing to look at their own life, at their own stuff, and work on it themselves. To find the way. 5 of Cups. All these 5 cards indicate a need for change. This is, to me, I'm reading it now as some kind of shadow energy. This individual has been in the dark, perhaps. Ace of Cups. There's a new beginning in love. There's a chance to illuminate perhaps the shadow self once you've done the work. Once you've come out of this feeling of, I think it's them, this King of Pentacles, that I'm not good enough. Something happens. They show up, and again, these circles. They're not walking by the doorway anymore. They're present, they're showing up right there in the doorway. I've done the work, I can be present for myself, first and foremost. Remember we were talking about that self-love? You can't love them out of trauma, but they can love themselves. There's been that lack emotionally for them. They've been not showing up in some way for themselves. Now they've begun that process of discovering their feelings. And once you have self-love, you can accept love and give it. Six of Swords. I'm sorry, Nine of Swords. I don't have my glasses on, so maybe I'll need to put them on. This is overthinking. This is almost like the worm in the brain. Of second guessing, of being up in the head, not willing to think about something, tormented by repetitive, scary thoughts that bring anxiety. And it might be because they've postponed doing their shadow work around love and connection until now. I'm showing up because I've done the work. I've shown up for myself. So now I can move forward in an inspired, creative way. Not the old path, not the old trauma. The 2 5s indicating the need for change equal 10. 10 in major arcana is Wheel of Fortune. It's something that's really changed, and so this person can kind of advance on their karmic path. They've discovered the new way. They've become curious. So they're even digging into doing that shadow work. Doing the shadow work. We have to be willing to explore our own dark places for ourselves. And, the fruit of that is self-love. This person is in contemplation at that quiet point where they can feel it and receive it. That makes them happy, and it makes me happy. It probably will make you happy too. I better take that out and keep it. Tell us about the path. The new karmic path, it's the path in the spirit realm as well as in 3D, as well as in our daily lives. It's also beyond daily life. It affects the psyche. It affects the person's whole approach, their whole approach, based on the work they've done. On 5 of Cups, the shadow work, and 2 came out. And I'd seen that earlier and for some reason didn't take it. 4 of Cups. I talked about shining the light, being in the spotlight. Beginning to discover for themselves what love is all about, what connection is all about. And they've discovered too that they have to show up really shadow and all. Somehow we have to understand and kind of incorporate our shadow energy, bring it into the light. And on 9 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Talk about authenticity in 3D. Again, the portal. Again, the sun image. And while it shows one person here, great stability at home in oneself, Ten of Pentacles indicates too the group, the family, the inclusive energy of this changes everything in my life. This self-love, the shadow work, changes everything in my life. It opens the door to, this person has come home to themselves. They're grounded, they're stable, they're present. They feel worthy now. They feel Ten of Cups worthy. Ten of Pentacles worthy. From this state of kind of, I'm not enough, to oh yes I am. It scares me to even think that. Nevertheless, here I am. Perhaps ready to work with you. And this Five of Pentacles was the halfway point. The 5 to the 10. Let's look once more at the Five of Pentacles before we move on. Death card. On that card of need to change, we have the change. We have the full spectrum light. Basically shining, it's illuminated Scorpio energy of complete transformation. What needed to change, Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, has changed or is in the process of changing. And again, this meditative pose that we saw in Ace of Cups. This is Scorpio energy, water energy, Cups energy. It's all about self-love. That's the jumping off point. And that's what this person has done. They've let the love in. It's very poignant. They've let the love in. You can't love somebody out of trauma, but you can provide, energetically, this water energy about your feelings for them. On the spirit, in the spirit realm, in that 5D thing that's hard to even find a name for. They've been basking in it somehow. You got to look at these two people in the same posture. Right? They may be developing a meditative practice, a kind of heart chakra opening that shows them the possibility for change and the way forward. And it's a comfort while they do this shadow work, which isn't comfortable. Somehow in that energetic field, you're assisting them, but they have to do the work for themselves. Eight of Pentacles. They've done it, and they're showing up. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, I knew it. Queen of Pentacles. A match for the king in 3D. I think you've undergone a change too, which maybe was just to back off a bit, to allow them to love themselves first. I can't love you out of trauma, but I love you. Again, it's just the emotion, it's just, the tears are right welling up. Six of Cups on Page of Wands. This is a past life energy, and again we have that spotlight business. From Four of Cups to Six of Cups. accepting the water energy, the love energy, and it's back and forth between the two of you. This is somebody you've known a long time, perhaps since you were children, perhaps through lifetimes. But that children aspect is about healing past trauma. I think they couldn't find their way back to you. See, this little individual is getting bigger and bigger as they come forward. Can talk about a return, finding the way forward. This is a really emotional reading. Full of cups, 4 of cups, 5 of cups, 6 of cups. It's a natural progression. And this is the starting point. Ace of Cups, a new beginning in connection. Boy. On King of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, communication coming in. Flow, fire flow, passion, purpose. I know what to do. And on the basis of that, the communication starts back and forth, back and forth. It builds on the basis of this work. I'm sorry, why did I think it was 8 of Wands? It's Knight of Wands. I think that 8 of Wands business still is applicable in that they're going to communicate their passionate forward movement. And it's Knight of Wands can be known for being erratic. But no, not in this case. It's paired up with this incredibly stable energy of somebody who's done the work. But it's also a passionate approach. Like they're stable, but they're not stayed. They're not corseted. They're not a tight ass. They're present and ready to share. And they're coming forward. On Ace of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. Making the investment in self-love, spending the time and the energy to build themselves up because they've done the work. Build themselves up over time because they care about this. They want to become available and present. On 8 of Pentacles, we have 2 of Pentacles. All this earth energy, all this grounded energy, a card of choice, a card of a decision being made. And see all the different frames here? I think they had to reframe it. That was part of the work. It's brought them to this place. The tipping point, that 2 of Pentacles, they've weighed it up, they've considered it, they've spent the time so that now they're able to make the decision. Because they feel worthy, because they've grown their self-love. They've reframed it. There's something too about mirror work here. These look to me like different expressions or iterations. Over time we discover more and more, and now we're curious. We're open-hearted. I think both of you, King and Queen of Pentacles, I think you're choosing each other. You're soulmates. You're a match. Because somebody's done the work, and I think it's both of you. You know, your shadow work involved thinking you could love somebody out of their trauma. That's how much you wanted to give, Queen of Pentacles. Might have even overgiven. Might have thought, I can accomplish the change. You know, if I'm in that loving energy of transformation, I can accomplish the change for them. And you discovered, no, you can't. All you can do is be present. You know, both in 3D, Pentacles energy, and in the spirit realm. And maybe for a time it was only in that ethereal 5D realm. But it's coming in. And have we got that again and again? Yes, we have. Did it take a long time? Yes, it did. You know, and meanwhile, you invested in yourself. While you were waiting for them to accomplish the change. And you weren't really waiting. You were grounded. You were investing in yourself. And then they show up. Matching your energy. Because you both worked with what you weren't working with before. We have on the board, and again, like I've gone from the tears welling up to just this feeling of lightness and joy. We have Scorpio. I think that's the only major arcana. That big transformation on the level of feelings, beginning with reaping the harvest of self-love. Making it real. Real, real, real. The choice to make it real. And they're saying, look for a timing card. And all I know is, again, they're showing up fast. In their authentic self. And you're there to meet them in 3D. Transformation is the big background energy on the level of feelings. You know, it's feelings for yourself, self-love, and some kind of return of the soulmate. You know, the self-love allows this connection to come back. I don't think this is pie in the sky, you know, I wish it would happen, therefore it happens. It's more grounded than that. It's all about the 3D level. It's all about what we do here and now, in our lifetime. Pentacles energy. The work we do, the shadow work, the work of self-love, the work of love of the other guy, resolving this perhaps past life relationship, undergone a major transformation. And from the sadness, which is part of it, you have to fold that in. Like when I'm getting the impression of kneading dough, you fold it. It takes time to knead the dough. It takes time, it takes two. To do that work. To get it ready to put in the oven. And boy, somebody's ready to put it in the oven. Like fire it up. Hot dog. I love you guys. Thank you, those who have subscribed, those who recently have subscribed, and those who have been with me from the beginning. You know, you make my heart sing. Wild Thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Jimi Hendrix did a cover of that, and it was I can't remember who initially sang it, but it's a wild song about a wild energy. Wild. The passion path and stable. Those two things in balance. Two of Pentacles. A card of balance. Now the tears are coming back again. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. I'm excited now.